Hey, Shalom, Kohala, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Chakodash, the ones of the apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom, true brothers on highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing, we find that number to be delivered. All right? So I don't know what I'm going to title this, but something along the lines of, what do you think is going to happen? All right? Because a lot of you people out here who are still just acting as if there's nothing happening in the world. We as prophets and men of the Lord, from the head apostles on down, we're staying on the job. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're crying out. We're trying to bring this word to the four corners of the earth as the Lord has, prescribed us to do. All right. But what do you people think is going to happen? You think the Bible is just going to grow legs and just walk away? All right. You think the prophets are just going to start prophesying and just, disappear? All right. We about to get into the thick of things around here. All right. And it's amazing to know that, looking around, I was at work today, I'm looking around and you motherfuckers are just gone. You're lost. You got no clue. And Esau's been telling, all his little stories and secrets and his little maneuvers. He's been telling you and showing you. But you people just don't see it, you don't listen, and that's gonna be your ass, man, in the long run. Your shit's gonna be mowed down like grass, man. All right? Isaiah 60:2. It says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people." You see? Gross darkness to people. All these things that are now transpiring, you people still don't see it. And I'm referring primarily to Israelites. You still don't see shit what's going on. All right? And then you look at the men of the Lord who are on the highways and byways and men who are pushing this word. You look at us as if, it's a game or, this shit is we're just going to stop and just disappear. We ain't going nowhere, man. And Lord willing, we're going to continue to be here until the Lord destroys this bitch. And what I mean by be here prophesying. All right? And it's evidently clear that there's gross darkness amongst the people right now. Continuing on. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Right? And as this thing starts to get heavier, as these things start to get more terrible, the countenance of a man of the Lord is going to show forth for miles and miles to be seen, man. Because that's going to be the glory that the Lord is going to be he's going to put upon us. We're not going to be in such, dire straits as the majority of you people are going to be, man. Continuing on. Now I'm going to play this quick video. It's probably going to run about two minutes or so, but just listen in, because the time that we're in right now, these are the things that are happening, and people still don't have no clue. They got no understanding. They ain't asking questions. They ain't trying to, even begin to, figure things out. So let me play this quick clip here.
Well, a warm welcome to today's talk. It's Sunday, the 18th of September. Now, we're looking at excess deaths today. This is a phenomenon all over the world at the moment. And what prompted me to do this is the European Union has just published data showing that deaths are 16% higher than we would expect. And the vast majority of these are not COVID deaths. So we've got a great increase in non-COVID deaths. So that's what we'll be looking at from the European Union, and we'll see that this is the case in many countries around the world. Now, the UK latest excess death data, updated on the 16th of September, data for the week ending the 2nd of September. 350 deaths involved COVID. It was 505 the week before, so that's continuing to go down, which is good news. Total number of deaths registered in the UK, just over 10,000, but 7.4% above the 5-year average. More people are dying than we would expect. This equates to 706 excess deaths in the United Kingdom. And deaths involving COVID-19 account for 3.4% of all excess deaths. So we see there's a large number of excess deaths that cannot be attributed to COVID. What is causing these deaths? And we're not really seeing that much discussion of this. That's why I'm very keen to keep this topic in people's minds, because we really do need answers on this one. Now, this is excess mortality here. Now, I know you won't be able to see this very well at all, but I'm going to blow it up for you. But it shows Mexico's worst. But these accumulative excess deaths, of course, most of these are COVID. And if I just show you the order of COVID or total excess deaths, many of which are COVID, as we've said, is here. Mexico did very badly in the pandemic, then the United States, Italy, Greece, Spain, United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. So that's total excess deaths, many of which are COVID. But if we look at the deaths that are current at the moment, most of these are not. The vast majority of these, as we've seen, are not COVID deaths. And here we see that figure, these figures here. So, for example, the United States is on about 12% at the moment. But again, we'll look at these in a bit of a blow-up so we can see them in order. Ireland, the United Kingdom, Australia, the United States, New Zealand, Canada, all with excess deaths, although the Canadian data is a bit non-existent.
All right, so you get the gist of what's happening here. I mean, people are dropping dead all over the place, man. Now, he's giving you he's giving you the numbers, so to say, concerning, C-19, and it's not that it's C-19 that's killing people. And I'm going to say it that way. All right. But for some reason, these people don't put two and two together. They're not linking up the cause and effect. You see? But all in all, in my mind, and those who are in the know, we know what the hell's going on out here. All right. But there's mass death right across the board. People are dropping like flies. A lot of these young athletes dropping like flies. Just young people, period. People who've never had any kind of ailments or any kind of condition, dead. This ain't no coincidence, man. This ain't no, some kind of mysterious thing going on here. But once again, if you're not aware of what the hell's going down, you're going to just pass it off as, oh, that's a tragedy. How he was so young. You see? But the time is here, man. You people better start waking up. You better start listening. 2 Ezra 16 and 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. All right? These numbers and these death numbers, they're going to keep rising. They ain't going down. They ain't going to subside. Why would they? All right? And a lot more of these deaths are going to be attributed from suicides. People aren't going to be able to handle the shit that's happening. They're not going to be able to live with themselves knowing some of the shit that these doctors and physicians, knowing the shit that they've done to people. And people aren't going to want to live with themselves knowing that they've lost it all. So on every aspect and every level, the death toll is going to keep on rising. This is why we're reading about great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And like I said at the outset of this lesson, man, this ain't gonna go away. These evils are not gonna go away. The prophets of the Lord are not gonna go away. The Bible is not gonna go away. The prophecies are not gonna go away. You got these people that say, "Oh, I don't watch the news because it's just too depressing." Well, your ass better get up and get your ass in gear and be ready. Prepare yourself. All right. Now these devils are talking about September 24th. Something's gonna jump off September 24th. Do we know for sure? No, we don't know for sure. Because once again, Esau's the devil and he's the liar and the father of it. But at the same time, we hear the information, we filter what we filter through the scriptures, and we come to a conclusion that this could possibly be, something real deal. All right? As the scriptures say, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. The Lord is putting certain spirits on different men all throughout the world right now. And we're not talking about spirits for good, man. We're talking about evil spirits, putting the evil thought in people's minds to do evil shit. This is the time that we're coming in. All right? You know, don't be surprised if you start seeing, you know, outside your door, dead bodies in the street, man. Better get used to it. Now, do I know for a fact it's going to happen that way? I don't. But once again, being mentally and spiritually prepared for shit will keep you in a better stead. All right, let's go on. Now, I want to play this next clip because once again, the Lord is not playing no games, man. He's out here doing some damage on
A state
shit.
of emergency in Puerto Rico. At this hour, Hurricane Fiona is slamming the island with 85-mile-per-hour sustained winds. The remnants of an asphalt roof blowing through the streets. The governor of Puerto Rico is calling the damage catastrophic. This satellite image shows the massive storm as it made landfall just hours ago, nearly 5 years to the day of Hurricane Maria. The entire island losing all electricity. More than 3 million residents face a dark and dangerous night ahead. The island's governor says it's all hands on deck, telling ABC News that the island is better prepared now than it was 5 years ago for Hurricane Maria, but it remains to be seen if the preparations were enough. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Puerto Rico and leads us off tonight.
Tonight, Hurricane Fiona slamming Puerto Rico with powerful winds and flooding rain, knocking out the fragile power grid. Now, an island-wide blackout. 1.5 million customers without electricity. The Category 1 hurricane making landfall with sustained winds of 85 miles per hour, knocking down trees and power lines, expected to dump up to 2 feet of rain. High winds ripping the roof off the structure, tearing it to shreds. Julito Cirino says he was sleeping when the winds tore the roof off his house. The storm dumping torrential rain across much of the island. Watch as raging floodwaters sweep away this bridge, reportedly newly constructed after Hurricane Maria. President Biden declaring a state of emergency, the governor of Puerto Rico calling the damage catastrophic, but earlier saying they were ready with enough resources to respond.
This storm is going to affect the whole island one way or another, specifically the southern part here. What is your biggest concern right now?
All right, so you get the gist on that. So let me say this, man. Puerto Rico can't sustain too much more of this. Every season, the Lord is getting harder and harder on them. Now, this is the head tribe of the Northern Kingdom. Keep in mind, and all the wickedness that they've been doing. Now, one would say, that's just habit. It's just Mother Nature. No, this is the Lord taking vengeance, okay, on His people for the wickedness that they've been doing. Now, easy it is for the Lord to divert them storms around these islands. Simply, He can do it if He wanted to. But he's letting these storms smash that island. They still fully haven't recovered from that last storm. And now you see the flood waters and the houses being blown around and blown to kibbles and bits. You think these people are going to bounce back? There's going to be a lot of a mass death in Puerto Rico alone, man. Because once the water slows down, everything starts to subside. You're going to have so much saturated, building material, just land, everything. There's going to be no hope in sight for them, man. And the Lord is definitely doing a number on them. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. There's going to be pestilence out there. There's going to be famine out there. Ain't going to have no clean water out there. There's going to be no sources of food. Think about it. What's going to happen, man? And when you get in those conditions, people start turning on each other. So don't be surprised if we see in the near future, the island of Puerto Rico going through an actual purge type scenario. All right. But again, the Lord ain't playing around. He's on the move. I'm going to just start at Ezekiel 9. I'm going to just start right at the point with 6. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. All right? But don't come upon any man on whom is the mark. Now, how many men out there in Puerto Rico are receiving or hearing this word? We got brothers, plenty of brothers out there who speak Spanish, who are doing Spanish lessons, who are out there on the highways and byways, kicking it in Spanish. So there's going to be no excuse, man. There's no excuse for anybody to say we didn't hear it or we couldn't understand it. All right? The Lord has set up everything that you would need to receive this word through every language, even sign language. All right? The Lord has set it all up. So nobody can sit there and say that the Lord didn't give them this word, or the Lord was, Lord was slacking because he didn't come that way. No, the word is out there, man. All right? By means of the internet just in itself, the word is out there. And it says, and begin at my sanctuary. Now, if this directive was to the men of the Lord to go and slay utterly old and young, maids, little children, and begin at his sanctuary, what do you think he going to do? He going to begin at the sanctuary, because Israel has been wicked, man. And the closer we get to the end of this thing, the more wickedness is being portrayed and administered throughout the whole earth, man. It's awful what's going on out there. Okay? But the time is coming where you're going to see that the Lord truly is a terrible, terrible power, man. So much so, you people are going to be questioning whether you believe in the Lord or not. Because it's going to be so awful out here. And what I mean by awful, just bodies everywhere. Dead bodies and body parts, all kinds of shit, man. And a lot of us, we're going to witness some of this shit, man. We're going to witness some of the beheadings and the dismantling and the burning and anything you can probably think of this wicked man can do. He going to do it to you. All right? He going to do it to you. This is Baruch. Let me go to chapter Baruch 2 and 30. And it says, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. And that's the truth too. We can be out there on the highways and byways screaming at the top of our lungs, and our people, they're so stiff-necked, they ain't got time to hear this. They ain't got time to listen to the men of the Lord prophesy. All right? And little do they know the time that this is the most important time that they're skipping out on their life, man. Whenever they come by the camp, or whenever they pass by a video or a lesson, about the word being brought out and taught, there's no more important time than that time right there when you hearing that word, man. So the Lord knows that his people is a stiff-necked people. And he knows that the majority of our people aren't going to return back unto him, man. That's why they're going to be put to death on this side. It's going to be an awful, awful thing to die a death that wasn't meant for you. Awful. I'll continue that out. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. All right? In the land of their captivities, plural. Because Israel's everywhere. Every continent and every landmass on this planet is going to have an Israelite on there somewhere. And this is why it says, in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. How are you remembering yourself? First and foremost, by the Spirit, through the Spirit of Yahweh Shemiah Shai to his servants, the prophets, the head apostles on down, hitting the highways and byways, getting on the internet, posting videos, making shows, teaching the word, being instant in season, out of season, meaning being ready and being ready to give, the word, in the most, condition, in the most unconditional ways. Okay. And it says, and shall know that I am the Lord, their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. Like I said, if you walking by a camp, or you scrolling through videos, and you decide, I don't want to see that mess, I don't want to hear that mess, you know what? You know what that means? The Lord didn't give you ears to hear. Bottom line. And you people are going to realize this, that wait a minute, why at some point in time didn't I stop to listen? And you ain't going to pay attention until Esau starts dropping that hammer. When Esau starts dropping that hammer, then you're going to start to listen. Then you're going to want to listen. But it's going to be too late, man. It's going to be too late. Lord, you trying to play the Lord stupid, man. You're just going to run around and do what you want to do until that last moment. Then you're going to try to jump in, Lord's going to fry your asses, man. Fry your asses over here. I'm going to fry your ass. This is Luke 12:49. The Lord said, I am come to send. Matter of fact, let me open it up. Jump down to 48. I'll start at 47. It says, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. And that's beautiful, because you hear that? And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself. All right. The Lord has set us up to push the word so you can hear it and prepare yourselves. But because you choose to be stiff-necked, because you choose to say to yourself, I don't have time to listen to that shit, or I don't have time for it, what's going to end up happening to you? It says, neither did he according to his will shall be beat. I'll start from the 7 again. And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So you people got some horrible times coming to you, man. And who knows how the Lord's going to prepare those stripes for your ass, man. The Lord is a terrible power, man. He can inflict all types of hell on you. Okay? Continuing on, 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. And this is why the Lord has set up the head apostles, other men on the highways and byways, men, the elders, the bishops, the soldiers. The Lord has set all these people up for a reason, man. He set us up for a reason. Okay? And when we go out there, just past week here in Boston, we had some cat that came up. He had his bags draped around him. He was sitting there. He was standing there for a while. Next thing you know, I watched him. He went over, put his bags down, and he was just listening. Asking questions. And this is how the Lord is sifting the hopeful elect out of the bunch, man. Bringing them to a camp. As the scripture says, man's goings are of the Lord. How then can man understand his own way? All right? It's no coincidence when a man pops up to the camp and sits there and starts to listen. And then the following week you see him again. And the following week you see him again. There's a Levite brother that's out there too. And now this brother, he's proven himself to be a good brother, so to say. For whatever the word good is. But he's proven himself. He's been coming around, for a while, humble, just listens, don't say much, but he comes every week, man. Comes every week. You all right? So Lord willing, the Lord sift that man when that time comes. Brother, bringing out, little things for brothers to eat throughout, after camp or what have you. That's a good brother, man. He's showing charity. All right? But once again, the point of the matter is this. The Lord has set up men, and he's going to sift men at the same time. He set up men to sift men. All right? And as the Lord says, think not that I come, to send peace on earth. He come not to send peace, but a sword. In the midst of all that as well, he says what? The fire is already kindled. When you first start a fire, you can't get the big fucking logs. You got to go out and get kindling. Little twigs, maybe some, straws of grass. And you put it on there and you light that shit up a little bit. Kind of may have to blow it a little bit until that real thin wood, that kindling, starts taking flame. All right? But once that kindling takes flame, then you can throw on the heavy logs. You see? The fire's already started. Now Yahweh Shemiah Shai is about to throw on them heavy logs, man. He's about to get this bitch to burn. This bitch is about to get to burning, man. So you people run out of time. The fire has already been started, man. You got people thinking they're going to wait until they fully implement the RFID chip, the MOTB. Let me wait till they fully implement that, then I'll decide to see what camp I want to join. You motherfuckers is full of shit, man. Excuse my language. Yeah, I've been looking at this camp, them brothers. I like the way them brothers do it. When that time comes, I'm going to go see them brothers too goddamn late. Because the Lord willing, the Lord pull us up off these corners, man. All right? And this is why, when you read about the virgins, the 10 virgins, 5 was wise and 5 were foolish. You got a lot of foolish people out there who are running things according to their own mind and not according to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But that's okay, though. That's okay. Isaiah 55:11, it says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. Meaning what? The Lord put his words in his servants and prophets' mouth, man. And this is another thing, you people who don't have faith and truly don't believe in the works and in the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it again. You don't believe in the works of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Men who've been out there laboring, pushing, sacrificing their life on the highways and byways, in the trenches. We haven't just come out to do this because we just, let's just do something that's the end thing. All right? We are under strict commandment, man. We are prisoners now. We are prisoners. And Yahweh Shai is that warden. He got us, man. The Lord has us. We ain't going nowhere. Lord willing, he keeps us in the stead, of course. But as it is, we ain't going nowhere. We can't go. Where we gonna go? That now, if we try to turn our back on the Lord, he gonna put us to death, man. So we've come prisoners for Yahweh Shai's sake, man. And his word is not going to go out void. So the things that he has given unto us, we're going to preach it. And you're going to watch it come to pass. And if you ain't wise, okay, and if you ain't prudent, you're going to get destroyed over here. The Lord said you're going to be beaten with many stripes. Lord's going to sick Esau on your ass, man. A whole bunch of you. He going to sick them right on you. Isaiah 55:11 from the top again. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. All right? So when you hear us out there on the highways and byways from the head apostles talking about there's going to be a famine, there's going to be famine, there's going to be pestilence, them earthquakes, there's going to be the Third World War, there's going to be nuclear destruction, there's going to be the so-called white man coming down having great wrath, there's going to be all these things that are coming to pass, there's going to be all of these things. So when you hear it, know that it's the word of the Lord, and know that it's not going to go out void. Meaning what? It's going to happen. It's going to come to pass. Because this is what the prophecy and this is what the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is. That we, his servants, the hopeful elect, may be delivered from the said destruction coming upon this place. All right? And as servants of the Lord and as ministers of the Lord, we come out and minister unto you. To hopefully, and once again, the Lord he already knows who his hopeful elect are. He already knows those who's going to deliver. But we, as mere mortal men, okay, we got to continue to push and drive this thing as if we don't know who these men are that are going to be sealed, which we don't. But at the same time, we got to continue to drive and push and show the Lord our diligence, that he may say, these are my faithful men, whom are faithful and true and obedient. All right? So all that being said, be very mindful of the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Be very mindful of the works that the Lord is now doing all throughout the four corners of the earth, and the spirit that he's putting upon his servants and apostles and elders and bishops that he sent out in the highways and byways and the hedges and the chief place of concourse in the trenches. Keep in mind who these men are, man. As it is stated in the book of Acts, careful what you gonna do or say to these men. If these works be of men, it'll come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. And this is why the word of the Lord is continually going out, because you're not going to overthrow that which the Lord has put into place by his will and by his servants and by his son Yahushai. All right. So with that, I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, I'm going to see you brothers in another show. I say shalom.